Recently went to the local Harley-Davidson dealership in Southern Maryland. I went to test ride a couple of new 2018 bikes. The first bike I did was the Fat Bob, the Softail Fat Bob. That's in the next video. But today I'm going to show and I'm going to ride the 2018 Street Glide Special. And I really want to thank All-American Harley in Hughesville, Maryland for setting me up with these two rides. Here she is, the 2018 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special. And that paint job is called Bonneville Salt Denim. And for the road glide, they actually make it Bonneville Salt Pearl. Basically it's white, but I like the pearl. This is kind of like that matte finish. But the pearl, like when the sun hits it, I had one time on my old bike, I actually had black pearl, and I love that look. But the engine is completely blacked out. If you look, the pipes your wheels are different from the 2018s. This is a 19-inch wheel over here, and the back is an 18. Horn cover black, crash bars, forks, gas tank, everything is blacked out. It looks pretty sweet, actually. I like this look of this bike. And here's the other side, taking a look at it. And one thing with the 2018 models, on the Street Glides, the tank bags are a little bit stretched out. Your saddlebags, tank bags. The saddlebags are actually stretched out a little bit compared to the 2017. Engine-wise, exact same. So there is a little chrome on here, very little. Top of the engine, that's basically it that I can see. And a few kickstand. But other than that, it's pretty blacked out. I tell you what, it does look friggin' sweet. It does. It is sharp looking, especially with the contrast of that white. I like it. What a beautiful day for a ride. From a performance standpoint, this bike's exactly the same as the 2017. And kind of a history of my bikes, I originally had a Fat Bob, 2008, and in 2016 I purchased a V-twin Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special. So about a year riding with that, I took a demo ride with the 17 with the Milwaukee-Eight, and I was sold. And I've had it now for about 7 months, 8 months, put about 4,500 miles on it, done a couple long trips. Absolutely love this engine. So if you haven't got a chance to get on a Milwaukee-Eight or done a test ride or a demo, anything like that, get out there and do it. You'll be amazed at the difference. One of the biggest things I noticed, and the two things, is obviously the torque. The torque is a gigantic difference, especially once you get into like third and fourth, I noticed. And the suspension. The suspension is a lot better than I had with the 2016. Now some people have disagreed with that, but I definitely noticed a difference. It's much easier to adjust now, the suspension as well. But the Milwaukee-Eight engine, which is standard on all the 2018s, and now it's in the Softail line as well, great engine. You know, nothing wrong with the V-twin. It was good, but this is much more refined. In my opinion, it is. I did notice the dash is a little bit different. Your speaker covers, now they have the Harley emblem on that. I don't have that. Your gauges actually right here are blacked out. But other than that, it's pretty similar. Now in my model, which is a 17, I have a Superior Blue. This is already very similar. It's blacked out. But cosmetically, the biggest changes, as I said earlier, are, for the Street Glide Special that is, are the blacked out. You got probably 95% of the engine is now blacked out, and then you have the stretched bags on the rear. And there's a couple other cosmetic changes, very minor, but otherwise that's it. So if you want to pay $4,500 to $5,000 more for that blacked out look, go for it. I mean, it looks awesome though. It is a sweet looking ride. It kind of just stands out. I'm more of a chrome guy. I like mixing it up a little bit. I'm not all chrome, not the whole friggin' bike is. But it's probably 70% chrome, and I have 30% of the items on the 17 blacked out. And I like that mix. Whereas this is completely blacked out. So obviously, a lot of people have been blacking out their bikes, so Harley instead made a model where it's completely blacked out. And they did that on the Road King, the Road King Black, the one that just came out. And that is an awesome looking bike as well. Performance-wise, this bike is solid. Even though this only has 27 miles on it, it's still in its braking period, so I'm not going to tear it up, but I've been on one, I've been on the engine, and it's so much fun. I mean, I can't just tell you how much I enjoy getting on a ride, sitting back and enjoying it. And on the 2 big trips I did this year, one recently where I went all the way down to North Carolina and Tennessee, I had no issues with the bike whatsoever. I had issues with my ass, but that's because of me, not the bike. Other than that, it ran smooth as hell. So get out there and get on one of these Milwaukee-Eights. And I know there's a lot of people that don't dig the Harley brand. They don't dig the culture or whatever. You know, I don't give a rat's ass what you ride. How I look at it, if you're on 2 wheels, even 3 wheels, you're good in my book. This bike, it just fits me. You know, you get on a bike, some people just know. When I sat on the 2016 Street Glide, I knew. And then I got on the 17, I knew. Now, I'm not going to upgrade to an 18 because there's no reason to. Now, on the base model, which is the actual Street Glide, it's chromed out. Very similar to the 2017 Street Glide Special, but what they did now is actually separated it. And they have different actually model names for it. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I know the Street Glide Special ends with an S now, whereas before you had kind of like the Street Glide and the Street Glide Special all in one, and then their big difference was the infotainment system. Similar now, but they actually blacked it out, so you are paying for the blacked out and the infotainment system. I mean, that's the gist of it if you think about it. Base price of the Harley-Davidson Street Glide, just the base one, is $21,500. Now that's with your standard color. If you add any colors, it adds a little bit more money. And then obviously if you were to get the infotainment installed, if you came in and got it installed, I believe it's $2,000. So that would take your price up to around $23,500, depending on the color, $24,000, which is exactly what it was last year. And now you're getting a 2018. So if you think about it, go out and just purchase a 2018 Street Glide, get the infotainment system installed, and then you're paying the same amount for what it was last year. But if you buy this one outright, you're paying $26,500. So it is pricey. I will tell you that. That is a little pricey in my book. I think it probably should have been priced around $23,500 to $24,500. And then maybe they should have dropped down the Street Glide a little bit more. But I'm not in charge of Harley. Just giving you my humble opinion. Well, we're coming up to All-American Harley-Davidson. I really want to thank Smurf and the entire crew there at this dealership. From a geography standpoint, they're about an hour south of Washington D.C, so it's actually a very easy trip to get down here. I can't tell you how impressed I am with their customer service, the amount of things they've done for me. I've purchased my last 3 bikes from this dealership, and I can't praise them enough. So if you're ever in the area, please stop by and say hi to Smurf. You'll see him on a later video. Good guy, good guy. As always, guys, be good, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, look what I'm pulling up to. I'm doing this next. That's going to be the next video. 2018 Fat Bob 114.